Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with Nathan McNair from Pandasaurus Games.
Yep.
And looking at Wasteland Express Delivery Service by Jonathan Gilmour and Matt Riddle and Ben Pinchback.
Yep.
It's a big team with a big box.
Big
with
game.
Some bold colors.
We're not afraid of colors.
That's right.
You'll see that coming
This
up
is like
as well.
Massive 80s colors here.
Yeah, we got the 90s coming up
Flashback.
after this one.
All right. So what's going on? Obviously, we're in a wasteland.
Where the world's ended, and we are all employees for the last delivery company on Earth, which is the Wasteland Express Delivery Service.
Okay.
Generally speaking, it's a pick up and deliver game with a pretty strong economy.
Okay.
It doesn't look at first blush like it's going to be that kind of a game.
Right.
But Pinchback and Riddle were involved, so it has some of that.
Okay.
What you're going to be doing is you'll notice there are some cities out here which sell goods, $2, $3 for water, food, $3 for weapons, $1 for food. So you can make your way over there, purchase
Okay.
as much of that good as you can afford to hold and pay for, and then you can find a city that's looking for that good. So if I bought food for $1 here, I might make my way to New Chernobyl to sell it.
Okay.
The price you sell it for, this is one of the cooler Euro-y parts of the game, is going to be based on a base price. For food is $2, water's $3, weapons are $4, plus $1 for each city that wants that good. So the
Okay.
price of food
For the
right now,
demand that's represented.
demand in the market. So right now, food is selling for $7. If I were to deliver that food, I would take that off the board, turn it face up, and I would pull from right here a new demand token, place it out, and this is a dual demand, so food would go down the price, weapons and water would go up.
Okay.
So you have to pay a little bit of attention to what other people are carrying on their truck, what they might want to be selling.
Right.
And the game does a good job of sort of naturally incentivizing you to go buy what people want.
Okay. And you can't just buy everything because you are limited in what you can carry.
Correct. So your truck natively has 6 spaces
There.
on it. We can just
Move
move
this out
him in the middle. So it has 6 spots on it plus 1 for a shield. This guy currently has a few upgrades. The green is a hold, lets you hold food or water. The black hold or the white hold here lets you hold weapons only. This guy is a gunner. He allows you to roll an additional combat die. And this is a turbo. It allows you to move faster.
Okay.
So real quick, I'll go over just kind of how you do movement. One of the best parts of the game is on your turn,
Leave this out here.
you take one of your action markers and you do one thing. So I could choose to move 3 spaces the first time I move. And here's my truck. I would go 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
That's my entire turn. It would go around the board, come back to me, and let's say I wanted to move a second time. This time I could move 4 spaces. So I would move 1, 2, 3, 4, and then could keep doing so. So on your turn, you do one thing. You can also purchase goods, deliver goods, do an outpost action, which lets you do things like go to the mod shop and buy upgrades for your truck, draw missions from these faction decks.
Okay.
So the Archivists, the Oracles of Ceres, the New Republic, you can go there and get jobs from them. Or, because John Gilmour is involved in this game, there are also Raider trucks which move around the board when you can see they're actually carrying goods cubes in the back of them.
Yes.
You can fight them. And if you fight them and you succeed, you take their goods. So normally, you would roll 2 combat dice when you encounter one. So let's kind of fudge this and say I came over here to fight this guy. You turn over the top card of the Raider deck truck, which is Flounder here. He has a defense value of 3. So I'd normally roll 2 dice, but I have an upgrade that lets me roll a third. So I'd roll 3 dice, roll a 5, that beats his 3. I would get the goods on the back of the truck for free if I have room to store both of them, which handily I do.
Yep.
And I would replace these goods with what's shown here. So that truck is now going to get a food and a weapon. And that's how combat works. And you're really, one of the things the game does well is it limits you. You can pillage, which is successful combat once a round. You can, so pillage is limited to 1, purchase you can do 1 time, deliver twice, outpost twice. So you can't sit there and spam the exact same strategy over and over again.
Right.
But combat's a little bit risky, but you'll notice I didn't pay for those goods. So profit's a lot better when you're stealing them. That's not going to go over the whole game, but one of the cool things I like is you're going to notice it has a lot of Euro elements. It has a lot of thematic game elements going on.
Right.
Like you can go in here and you can get a job from the Oracles of Ceres, and it's going to have flavor text telling you exactly what you're doing and why, what your reward is. And that's 3 different faction decks, but there's no victory point track in this game.
Okay.
Instead, 3 objective cards come out at the beginning of the game randomly from a deck of 8. So
Okay.
every time you play the game, it's going to be different. This has you successfully fighting the Grand Lord Emperor Torque, who is this nasty fellow right
Okay.
here.
Oh, I can't
I don't know
even
if you see it, but
Nope.
it has you fighting this guy. He's hard to kill. His combat value is a 7 plus 2 dice rolls, and if
Okay.
you fail, you take 2 damage. Damage is just bring this back over. When you take damage, the damage token breaks part of your truck. If you don't have empty spots, it starts breaking upgrades. You
Okay.
can heal damage and take it back off, get your upgrades back.
Okay.
This one is complete a smuggling run, which is a special kind of mission, one from each deck. And then this card here is the Blue Screen of Death. It's a more economic, go buy stuff, deliver it for free. So this is a little bit of a mix, combat, some missions, some economics. Sometimes
Depending
it'll be
on what comes out.
depending on what comes out. And in these decks, there are also occasionally private in-game conditions that come out.
Okay.
So you have to do 3 to win the game. Some combination of these and private ones.
Okay.
First one to do that wins the game. 2 to 5 players, 60 minutes to 2 hours. Really fun. I think it's a great mix of thematic and strategic. I think it's got a lot of Euro stuff. You don't ever have to do combat, and you can win the game avoiding it. In fact, I should avoid it, because every time I try to do combat, I lose. But if you like, you can just go out there and fight, roll a bunch of dice.
Right.
If you're really inclined for more thematic games, there's a variant where you can steal from other players. It adds about a half hour to the game to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I would imagine. Yeah, it's a lot more tug of war.
Yeah, and a little harder to
Things.
plan. Like, oh, I got all my weapons, and then a couple of jerks come by and start stealing your weapons from you.
Right.
Mid-May is the release date on this. The one thing this is missing, this is not everything that comes in the game, this is part of it.
Right.
Noah Adelman, who owns Game Trays, has designed, it's going to be in every box, a game tray system for this game. So when you open the box, everything is going to be in a tray with a lid. So all of this money, which is a pile of the dice, the goods cubes, are going to be in trays with lids. You pop a lid off, you set it down. You'll be
Okay.
able to set this game up in under 5 minutes and play it.
Okay. All right. That's a good achievement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a half-hour setup for a 60-minute game was a bad ratio, so we talked to Noah and corrected.
Okay. That's good. All right. Thanks very much for the overview. Wasteland Express Delivery Service.